An important topic I'd like to discuss in biomechanics is good hip mobility. Now, no joint works in isolation, and by that what I mean is that if we have poor hip mobility, it's going to affect the entire kinetic chain. It's going to affect knee function, ankle function, the spine as well as your shoulders, even up into the upper extremity. So in the clinic, we like to assess the hip by performing circumduction, a nice circular motion. But what we find is that if we take the hip into circumduction, into those end ranges especially, we can find restrictions and use that circular motion to mobilize the hip and increase mobility. So we've got Mickey here helping out. So we're going to bring the knee up, flexing the hip. And we're going to start by just performing a nice circular motion to start, just to get a feel of what's moving and what's not. And I'm going to take it into external rotation, a little bit down. You can feel that?
Yeah.
A little bit of resistance. Now if we bring it back up and in, yeah, right in here I can feel that just doesn't want to move that much. So I'm going to take it back in and just bring it right through the motion. Doing okay?
Yep.
Yep. So you can actually feel it letting go.
Yeah.
It's getting easier as I do this. How does that feel?
It's actually a lot easier now.
Yeah, definitely. So just take it one more time. Oh yeah.
Oh, weird.
Way less resistance on that
Yeah.
pass. All right, take it back the other way. There we go. Doing okay there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gonna take it through a couple more times. That feels like I could actually get more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
How does it feel to you?
A lot looser.
Yeah, so less resistance in
Yeah.
there, easier. Okay. So that's a great way to just mobilize the hip and assess it as well. Now that we've performed the circumduction, we want to introduce some traction so that we can mobilize the joint even further and create a bit more space in there and actually assess it even further to some degree. Now, before you get started, I want to emphasize that you always have to explain what you're going to do to your patient and make sure they understand the mechanics of it and the logic behind it. Because some of the positions, might be a little awkward for some people. So we've got Mickey here helping. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend Mickey's knee. I'm going to bring her leg out slightly, and I'm going to actually place the distal part of her leg just above the ankle between my knees. Okay? And then I'm going to wrap one hand underneath and kind of reinforce with the other one and get as close to that hip joint as I can. Is that comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now by using my legs, by extending my knees and kind of pulling back with my body, I'm going to create a tractional force here and create some distraction here, some long axis traction. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you start to get that traction, you can start to assess it a little bit further by creating some internal rotation, for example. Can you feel that?
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't feel too bad.
No, it doesn't hurt.
And then I'm going to actually reverse my hands and create a little bit of traction, but this time I'm going to go external. Doing okay there?
Oh yeah.
And I can feel that one a bit more.
Yeah.
Just creating a little bit of traction. Good. And as you can see, Mickey's holding onto the table there, making sure I don't pull her off. It's always a good thing. There we go. Good. And then you can go back in and create a little bit more circumduction and just assess the joint. Actually, that feels a lot looser now.
Way looser.
Yeah, definitely. Even more so than before.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Crazy.
Now, if we have found that there's a restriction in the hip joint, clinically we're going to assess the pelvis as well, because any restrictions or decrease in motion in the hip is going to affect the mechanics of the pelvis. So you'd want to look at the ilia, the sacrum, as well as the SI joint. So we're going to have Mickey help us out here, lying on your side facing me. Perfect. Yeah. Make sure you're comfortable. I'm just going to pull you through just a little bit. There you go. So first off, we're going to assess the mobility of the sacrum and pelvis in general here. I'm just going to see what's moving and what's not. And Mickey's got quite good mobility here. And definitely feeling a little bit here at the top of the sacrum. It's just a little bit stiff. Do you feel that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would go ahead, once you've assessed this in relation to that hip restriction, you want to mobilize the sacrum as well. So just come forward a little bit. And just do a gentle mobilization. We're just going to bring you forward and just kind of create a bit of motion. Doing okay?
Oh yeah.
And if you did find a true restriction, you could also adjust the joint as well. So definitely look at the entire region. As we said earlier, no joint works in isolation. You have to look above and below as well.